So that's where you can go get coaching. That's where you can sign up for the 3-month program. That's where you can book email advice. That's where you can buy a t-shirt. Wherever you want to do, for me, it's at kidvic.com. JC, love and respect, bro. I appreciate you for always showing up, bro. He says, why do so much women still keep falling for the same tired games these players feed to them? They tell them exactly what they want to hear, and then it seems most of them still fall for that shit. I'll be honest, to your point, that does happen, but more often than not, the more effective methodology for tricking women out of their position is actually telling them exactly what they don't want to hear, because for whatever reason, people value honesty over content, over content. And so, like, people will root for the villain based on the villain being honest about being a villain. And compassion is the radicalism of our time, meaning that people don't trust the compassionate. People distrust and people dislike the compassionate, the good person, the good Samaritan. People have such a distrust for good people that it's so much easier for them to latch on to people who don't have the perception of perfection. And unfortunately enough, when a player tells a woman, hey, baby girl, I just want to have a good time. I'm just trying to have fun. I really don't want a relationship. That's more likely to get her in bed than a man telling her, hey, I want to fall in love. I want to do this. I want to do that. The player actually doesn't tell them exactly what they want to hear. He tells them exactly what they don't want to hear. And they value the honesty over the content of what he's actually saying to such a degree that they say, well, at least I know I don't need to expect anything. And then they get in bed with him and they still fall in love with him. Or they start hanging out with him, they still fall in love with him. The emotional implications don't change just because you know what to expect or you know what you can expect. It's the same. So as a dating coach, my experience is that women give an inflated value to honesty despite whatever a man's being honest about, despite how dastardly his honesty is and the content of it, despite what he's confessing. They like honesty over what they perceive to be beautiful lies, which aren't always lies. They just don't believe in compassionate, loving, healthy-minded men. Again, compassion is a radicalism of our time. That's why it's so easy for people to hate my content, hate people like me. That's why it's so easy for men and women to, have vitriol and frustration and disdain and negative emotions toward a person like me, because they would assume that my goal and my intention is to appear perfect. Well, my goal and my intention is just to share what I have that's gotten me married, gotten me in a healthy relationship with other people so that they can have it too, right? But there's always this idea that the compassionate, the good Samaritan is somehow another tricking you. They're holding one hand behind their back. They're doing something. They're secret narcissists. They're secret abusers. They're secret this or that. People hate good Samaritans more than they hate honest villains. And you would assume of the good Samaritan that there's something you don't know about them that would charge them with some kind of crime or sin that would be unforgivable. So people just assume that the good Samaritan is a liar and not necessarily the guy hiding all of his ill intention in plain sight by giving you truths that might be inconvenient, but truths that make you feel like you've gotten the whole picture.